If you want to give your job application the best possible shot, you have to make sure that applicant tracking systems can actually read your resume. In this video, I'll go through the common resume formatting pitfalls and what you can do to make sure that your resume gets the attention it deserves. I'm Jillian Kinsey, this is Red Pen Wench, and before we get started, it's important to understand what applicant tracking systems are and how they actually work. So the vast majority of companies that are hiring use applicant tracking systems, or ATS, to collect applicant data and sort out the best candidates. Now, what does this mean for you? When you upload your resume, ATS will scan it. They'll try to pull the words and sort it into data fields to learn more about you. If your resume is not formatted properly, the system might not be able to read it. So your first resume decision is what program you're using. I love tools like Canva, but ATS struggles with image files like JPEGs or PNGs, and Microsoft Word and Google Docs are your friends here. They allow you to create a simple, readable design in PDF or Word document files that ATS can read. If you're submitting your resume directly to an employer or you have a personal connection at a company to send it to, feel free to use your awesome Canva design. But if you're applying to jobs online, do yourself a favor, stick to something simple in Word or Google Docs. Sticking to a simpler design is key because ATS reads from left to right. I did a quick Google search for a free resume template online. It looks pretty good, but it's not great for ATS, and this is why. This design has two columns, so when ATS pulls this information, it might read like this: communication, personal pronouns, for instance, designed and implemented work problem-solving ticketing system. If you use something like a text box or multiple columns, the information might get jumbled when it's pulled from your resume. It's also important to note that some ATS will skip over the information that you have in your header and footer. So instead of putting your contact information there, it's best to keep it in the body of your resume. This is important because ATS often sorts candidates based on your location, so make sure your city and state is in there with your email and your phone number. It's great to add your LinkedIn URL as well. When ATS scans a resume, it's looking for specific headings so it knows how to sort your information. It's looking for things like professional experience, summary, education, core competencies. So if you use more quirky, creative headings like where I worked or ninja skills, it might make someone laugh, but ATS won't know what to do with that information. So keep your headings traditional. Another design element that can sometimes trip up the algorithms is a photo. Now, I could make a whole separate video on all the reasons not to include a photo on your resume. If this interests you, drop a comment below, let me know, I'll make a separate video. But for now, leave the photo off the resume, keep it clean, keep it text-based, save the photo for your LinkedIn profile. A couple of other things that ATS has historically had issues with are logos, graphics, symbols, social media icons, and special characters. Now, you might not think of something like an ampersand as a special character, but it's important to keep in mind. Something as simple as mergers and acquisitions on your resume might end up looking like this to ATS. So while these AI systems are rapidly developing, hopefully this will change quickly and no longer be an issue, but for now, err on the side of caution and stick to words and numbers and bullet points. Let's talk about fonts. For your resume, it's best to stick to something that's simple and standard. Use one of the fonts that have been around forever, like Times New Roman, Georgia, Helvetica, Arial. I know it's tempting to use a more custom, original font to show your brand, but ATS might not be able to read it. And in terms of size, make sure that you are using font size no less than 10.5. You want ATS to be able to read it, but you also want a human to be able to read it without a magnifying glass. Now, if you've done all of the above and you feel like now your resume is incredibly boring, it doesn't have to be. You can still use little tricks like all caps or bold or italics or color to give it a little pizzazz and personality. You can take your resume from this to this. Actually, if you like this design, I'm going to be including a link down below to download this free template to save you some time during this process. Which brings me to my most important point of this whole video, which is that formatting alone will not earn you a high ranking with ATS. All of these formatting tips are necessary to get you to the starting line, But what's essential for ranking as a strong, qualified candidate is the way your resume is crafted, your content. I'm gonna be making a video all about how to customize your resume with the right keywords, so be sure to check that out. And in the meantime, get your formatting in order, and I'll see you in the next video.